To fool by drinking an entire bottle of Louisiana hot sauce at a job interview in a failed attempt to be impressive. I have had a number of job interviews recently that went poorly and did not result in securing employment. I started to think I needed to do something during an interview to really stand out, be impressive, unique, and highly memorable. I thought it could be risky, but might work out. I came up with the following idea: after concluding the interview, after the handshakes, etc., when leaving the room, stop, turn around, and say, "There's one more thing you need to know about me." Then pull out a bottle of hot sauce, down the entire bottle, slam it onto the ground and say, "I can handle the heat." Nod confidently, leave the room. Boom. I imagined that they would be really impressed and wowed by such a performance. Well, it didn't pan out like I thought it would. It was only a small bottle of hot sauce. I figured it would be no big deal to actually do. I should have tested at home first, but I didn't. I was nervous as a bitch-ass during the interview, but I was determined to follow through with the plan. So I started exactly as described above. I was leaving, I turned around, maybe not with as much swagger as I'd imagined in my head, and I declared, "There's one more thing you need to know about me." I pulled out the hot sauce bottle, almost dropped it, and started to open the bottle. In my head it was all one quick confident motion, like an electric Indiana Jones, but instead I fumbled around and had a tough time getting it open. It felt like a nightmarish eternity but was probably only about 20 seconds. Enough time for one of the interviewers to ask me what I was doing. I didn't answer directly. Instead, after I got the bottle open, I repeated, "There's one more thing you need to know about me." But stuttering. Then I guzzled down the entire bottle of hot sauce. I instantly regretted it. My mouth and throat felt like lava was swirling around inside me. I immediately started to gag and loudly cough. I was crying involuntarily. Tears hardcore streaming down my face. I was sweating like a terrible fool. I desperately tried to scream, "I can handle the heat," but just kept coughing before I could get anything out. The interviewers were all standing up looking at me in horror and confusion. A few seconds before I threw up all over the floor. I knew it would happen, but I tried to hold it back. I couldn't. I threw up all over the floor. It hurt as much on the way out as it did on the way in, if not more so. The vomit felt like flaming barbed wire shredding its way through my neck. I should mention a disturbing amount of fiery mucus was also leaking out of my nose uncontrollably. After I finished throwing up, I could not bear to look at the interviewers. I hoarsely mumbled an apology and started to stumble as quickly as possible out the door. I have never been more shamed in my life. I didn't get the job. AITJ for saying my dad knows nothing about romance? For 23 years my household was home to a very violent, loud and unfaithful marriage. The only thing that kept that marriage together was that being miserable together was better than leaving the kids with one parent. My older sister, younger brother and I were disillusioned back in elementary when a strange woman began to talk to us about being our new mother and her relationship to our dad. Having the cops called on her revealed our dad's affair, but nothing came of it. As the years passed, our dad only had more affairs, and when our mom found out, she went violently crazy. All throughout this train wreck, me and my siblings relied on each other to grow our morals and understand what not to do from our parents. The only good that came from this is my brother having a happy and healthy relationship for 4 years that is now going to turn into an engagement. Back to my dilemma. About 2 months ago, after my siblings and I moved into our own apartment, my parents finally got their divorce. Our mom moved out of state for a better life and our dad was a mess for a month. We did our best to help him through and introduced him to groups to help him build a friend group. Well, a month ago he met a party girl at a bar and is obsessed like a middle schooler. I asked my siblings what we thought and all of us agreed we were pretty much indifferent. That was until our dad started to make it weird. For a month he's been bringing her over to our home, stinking the entire place up with smoke, asking us to come along to the bars and go for drinks since we're all adults. None of us drink or smoke since we don't enjoy drinking and get headaches from the smoke. He leaves her at our home so he can go to work, and gets mad at us when we ask her to leave. Whenever we talk on the phone, he talks about this is real romance and that we should learn from this relationship instead of our parents' relationship. And when I popped in to check on our dad, I saw them both bloody on the ground since they had just crashed her car because they both were too drunk to drive but did so anyway. I've had my doubts about their relationship, but I've tried to remain neutral. But when I found out my dad has been kidnapping my cats during the day to win me over, I lost all my patience. He came over to make a speech of how he just wants to be happy and move on from our mom, that accepting his girlfriend as family is the only thing he wants and to know he has our support. All my frustrations came gushing out as I yelled something along the lines of, "Don't make it sound like you're such the victim of that marriage. How dumb do you think we are? Don't act like you can be this great dad doing us a service by dating someone again. You are a pathetic person that can't go a couple of days without clinging to the first person who glances your way, regardless of your relationship or marital status. How about your relationship is your relationship and you leave us out of it because holy crap, we don't want to be a part of another one of your failing relationships. Shoving him out and looking back, I regret now everything I said. Even my siblings are concerned that he might try cutting us out of his life because of the way I said everything. I still believe that the message needed to somehow get through to him, but I don't think this was the right method. I don't know what I should be doing or if I can fix this at all.